Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Naruto Was Legendary, Uchiha x Namikaze. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends and social media platform. And also guys, stay tuned for the rest of what is coming our way over in Anime King and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and King 3, which I post what you find every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, would you say begin this new episode start? The intro. So, the last time we left off, as Naruto was visibly exhausted, he knew that he had to take her down. He had to take Kushina down no matter what she was transforming. The battle was ruthless. She was going in for the kill and he could not hesitate one bit or he would die. He was able to make his way towards her but not without great consequences, as he got stabbed repeatedly. She blew holes in his arms and leg as he was barely walking. He was struggling as he pushed his way towards her, fighting with everything that he got. When he finally arrived towards her, he was able to grab onto her tight, as he activated his Mangita Sharingan Genjutsu to trap her away. As Naruto's body was a mess, he was in terrible shape. Meanwhile that was going on, Minato flashed towards the infirmary along with Mikasa and the others. As his wife, Mikasa, was there. She was shocked to see her husband. She hasn't seen him in a while. As she saw him with the girl, the others were rushed towards intense care, while Mikasa was taken over by Mikoto. As she checked over the girl, but something was there, driving the girl. There was this unknown power healing her, which Mikoto didn't know what exactly it was. But the girl was in a state that he didn't understand, so they had to enter her mind to find out what exactly was going on. So they did. As she found out that this girl was Naruto's best friend. Well, probably even more than that. She was sad because she hadn't get to see her son in such a long time, and she just prayed that she got to see him before anything bad were to happen. We then got a glimpse of Mikasa's memories as she grew up with her mother, her father, and her sister Haku. Her father had died and she blamed her mother for it so bad that she wanted to actually kill her mother, thinking that she was the one that left her father behind to die. But Haku knew the truth. Her father had sacrificed his life, and they didn't want to tell her because if she thought her father had chose death over her, it would literally break her. So they tried their best to be there for her, as always. Her mother trying her best despite all the hate glares and all the cursive words that she got from her daughter. They had ran away from Kiri because of the Mizukage doing the bloodline purges. Haku had went and talked to her sister, and she was able to get her to reasonable terms. As the mother came in and hugged the both of them, Mikasa struggled a bit but she leaned into it afterwards. We then skip back Naruto as his friends had arrived. Renjutsu had arrived to see him. She didn't know what was happening between them, but it was not just friendship. When she arrived to the scene, she was heartbroken. As she saw him lying there, she tried to heal him with everything that she got, but he was done for. He was in a bad state, so critical that she couldn't do anything to save him. She watches his life slowly fade away as she stood there broken, just like before, once again losing someone that she cared about. As Baku reported in, yes, the city was captured, the missiles were disarmed, but the commander was lost. So yeah guys, that was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? Kushina Uzumaki had seen many things in her life. She had seen people betray each other for power, for fame, but never she saw someone love their family so much. Naruto Namikaze. Who exactly was this person? She just couldn't understand him. As she looked into his eyes, she couldn't understand his reasons. Zetsu stepped beside her and placed a few metal rods in a body that was trapped inside a small lab tube. His blonde hair was flowing freely inside the water in the tube. Madara had patched him up with a special treatment with her help. Nice work capturing him, Kushina. He can be more useful to us now, said Black Zetsu, as Kushina tried to look ignorant. What will you do with this brat, she asked. He possesses enormous power. He can be a threat to our plan in the future. We have observed him for years now. He can definitely influence the people around him. And we cannot let it happen to White Zetsu. Are you going to kill him, said Kushina, as someone else stepped beside her. His face was hidden by a spiral mask. Killing him would be showing him mercy. He's a foolish, idiotic child that believes that the bonds and the family and the friends can change his world. So no, I won't kill him. I'll make him betray everything he stands for. I'll make him betray his soldiers, his comrades, his family. I'll make him the biggest villain of this world, who his beloved brother would come to hate. And then everyone will realize how worthless this world is, said Madara. Kushina's eyes widened and shot. This was not supposed to happen. This was not the plan. He appears to have an alter ego. Maybe he would be more suitable for our task. So, will you steal his humanity away? Asked Black Zetsu. Madara chuckled a bit. As accurate as ever, Zetsu. Make the preparations. He will be my biggest pawn in the Eye of the Moon plan. We will let him do all the dirty work. What? Are you scared of facing Ninja World, Madara? Kushina asked. He shook his head. Why should I waste my energy and reveal myself to the world when I have a pawn like Naruto and a trusted comrade like you? Both of you alone can shape the entire Shinobi world on your own. Get back to work, Kushina. There's still a war to be finished. Before she could say anything, disappeared in a vortex, leaving her alone with Zetsu. Kushina looked towards her savior. He was just 15 years old. He saved her from darkness in her heart. He released her from the genjutsu that Madara placed over her. He made her feel again. He considered her as a human, not a Jinchuriki. As she remembered their conversation after the battle was over. Flashback. A few hours ago. Kushina lay flat on the ground. Her clothes was torn from many places. Her body was covered in injuries. Dust and dirt flew around her. As she was in a giant crater. Close to her was young Anvu, who was badly injured. There was a massive hole in his chest, while similar holes could be seen on his arms and legs. She remembered him. He was Naruto Namikaze, son of Minato and Mikoto. She remembered their conversation. She started to drag herself towards the boy. His breathing was non-existent. He needed medical help rather quickly. I won't let you die. She bit her left wrist as blood started to leak from her skin. She was one of the few people in the world her blood can heal any injury. Although, the injuries that Naruto had suffered would need something bigger. But this will keep him alive for now. She remembered when he bit her in the neck. And her blood has healed his injury, so it wasn't dangerous. But it would be a long time before he can even get up on his feet. She silently watched as he drank her blood. As his injuries started to heal slowly and slowly, the hole in his chest started to disappear, followed by the injuries over him. Tears slipped from her eyes. I'm sorry for hurting you so much. I'm so sorry, she said, as they dripped on his face. She was surprised as she felt a hand touch her face. She opened her eyes fully to realize that he was wiping her tears away, and he gave her a smile. You have beautiful red hair, he said. She was surprised when he came forward and hugged him tightly. Oh, my bones are still broken, you know, he said. A sheepish smile came on her face as he broke the hug. He was in a bad state and needed medical attention. Her blood had just prevented him from dying. That did not mean he was out of danger. I removed the genjutsu placed on you, said Naruto. Seems I was right. Someone was the mastermind behind this war. How did you do that, she said. She was grateful, but she was curious. How did you remove Madara's genjutsu? I cast my ultimate genjutsu, World of Illusions. It's one of the abilities of my Mangekyo Sharingan that allow me to control the soul of a person. The soul is the most powerful part of a person. If you can control it, there's no need to cast a genjutsu. It still works on a Jinchuriki. Even if you transform into your full tail beast form, you're still humans with a soul, which I can control. Kushina was shocked. For someone to have that kind of power, that was rare. You have a Mangekyo, she said. How did you achieve that power? She watched as he closed his eyes in defeat. We don't have much time. What was your mission? And who ordered you to attack my company, he said. Madara Uchiha ordered me to either capture or kill you, while eliminating your company. As Naruto froze at that, Madara? But he's supposed to be dead. It's just not possible. It is true. He's the mastermind behind this war. He's the one that prompted the other villages to start the Fourth Great Ninja War. Apparently, he wants to capture all the Jinjurikis to start a new world. But before he does that, he has to weaken all the hidden villages. If what you're saying is true, then Shinobi World is on the brink of extinction. We are fighting amongst ourselves, and there is a greater danger lurking in the shadows. And anything relating to a Jinjuriki's power can be dangerous. How can we stop him while preventing this war from destroying all the villages? Said Naruto. Someone was coming. As he knew that he didn't have 1 minute left, less than that, he looked towards Kushina as a strategy came in his mind. But if this plan was successful, then his fate would be worse than death. Self-sacrifice is the trait of a true ninja. You remember Commander Fox. For the greater good he had to make this sacrifice. He only hoped his family would understand why he did, and forget him like a bad memory. Hand me over to Madara. Excuse me? She looked towards him surprised. What are you saying? She said. Madara believed that you're still on his side, that his genjutsu is still in effect. If you hand me over to him, you can gain his trust even more. You can find out everything about his plans and inform my father. This world is at stake. Thousands of lives, millions are at stake, said Naruto. Absolutely not. He's obsessed with your power. He's afraid of you because he considers you too dangerous. That is why he wants you dead. But know that you're alive. He will turn you into his pawn. He will make you a slave. That fate will be worse than death. I will make up some excuse. I will do something. But after what you've done, I won't risk your life, she said. After what you've done for me. As Naruto thought to himself, Madara was no fool. If the man can do this in the Shinobi World, then he can easily detect his genjutsu, then remove off of her. I have no choice, Naruto thought. As his Mangita sprang to life, their eyes connected. Tears flew freely from her eyes, as she realized he was ordering her to do this. And the worst part was she could not stop it. Please, don't make me do this, she said. I'm sorry, but this is for the greater good. Save the world, Kushina. You're the only one that can do it. As Naruto saw the plant-like entity arriving at a distance, he will turn you into a traitor. You deserve better. I will help you some other way, but please don't do this, she said. Kushina, can you do me a favor, he said. Anything, she said. Show the world that I've died. Most of all, make my brother believe that I died. If he believed I was captured, he will spend his entire life chasing after Madara. If that happens, my actions, they will be meaningless. As Naruto steeled his heart, knowing that this would be a heck of a road, that he wouldn't see his family again. But he was doing this for his comrades, his shinobi, his family most of all. If what she said was true, then he would become like her. He would be branded as a traitor. Everything that he has built would be destroyed. But it was all worth it if it meant his brother and family could be free from danger. And he would sacrifice it all in a second to make Itachi live in a free world, where there's no wars, where his friends don't get killed in front of his eyes. Kushina sensed Zetsu coming towards him as Naruto started to lose conscious. I'll save you one day, she said. Just hang in there, and don't give up, she said. He gave her one last smile. Don't be sad. I'll always live on in the hearts of my friends. These were his last words as he fell asleep. She just looked at him. Why was he so different? She wiped her tears quickly, as Zetsu arrived beside her. Excellent work in capturing the boy, Kushina. We want him alive now. Madara-sama requests your presence back at the base. We will bring him back too. Madara-sama has great plans for the boy. Kushina took a breath. She would definitely save him, but for now she had to honor his request. Even if it was painful, it was the right choice. Acknowledge. But it would be better if you replace his body with a clone of yours, to make the Konoha ninjas believe that he's dead. Until the time Madara-sama makes his move, suggested Kushina. As Zetsu looked towards Naruto, as he then turned back towards Kushina. You're too devious, Black Zetsu said. We shall get it done, said White Zetsu. In the flashback, a small tear slipped from her eye as she watched Zetsu experiment on the boy. His occasional screams broke her heart. By the time Zetsu was done with him, he won't be the same as before. He really had a lot of faith in his comrades and his little brother. She just hoped it won't be too late to save him when she find out the true plan. You really did a number on him, Kushina. We will have to build his body with your cells, and even some other cells that we have. Zetsu said. Is he hurt that badly? Kushina asked. Yes, you destroyed most of his vital organs and his bones. He lost majority of his blood. If he was not a Uchiha and a Senju, he would be a corpse right now. It will be a few months until he can get back to his feet. Madara-sama asks for you to make him more stronger, if need be. We will even put half of the Kyuubi inside of him. Are you out of your goddamn mind? He can't be turned to a Jinchuriki's body. He's not capable of handling such a burden, said Kushina furiously. True, but when we implant your cells and some other cells, He should be able to handle it quite easily. We are thinking of adding the yin half into his body. Kushina pulled out her blade. I won't give you the Kyuubi, nor will I assist of making this boy Jinchuriki. Black Zetsu simply chuckled. You will do it. If you want to live to see the world, then Madara-sama will create, said White Zetsu. Kushina, you have earned Madara-sama trust. You are a trusted comrade now by capturing the son of your best friends. You have proven your loyalty to the Akatsuki and Madara-sama, Black Zetsu said. What do you mean? Asked Kushina. Madara-sama tests your resolve by making you fight with Naruto. He wanted to see if you had any feelings left for your past, comrades and family. And he was really pleased when you fulfill your expectations, without hesitation. And he has decided that you will live in a world that he will create. I don't understand, he said, that I would live in that world even if he took the Kyuubi out of me. As Zetsu chuckled, that was a lie, of course. You would be killed after the extraction. Once the Biju is removed from your body, the holder cannot stay alive. That is why we will place half inside of Naruto. We will make him the biggest terrorist of this world, a demon that everyone comes to loathe and hate. And once we're done with him, we will extract the Kyuubi out of him, said Zetsu, as he had to commend his leader for such a brilliant plan. Madara knew that the fourth Hokage could slaughter him and stop the Akatsuki, but no father would kill his own son. Despite not being too close, he was still his son, and Minato loved his son, and Madara was going to use those feelings against Minato. Kushina felt like the ground beneath her feet had shattered into a million pieces. This was the reason why he asked her to fake his death. He knew this would happen, she thought. So, this was a choice that he made. He knew there wouldn't be any happy ending for him, but yet he threw that all away, all of his happiness for the future, to protect his family, to protect his brother, a brother who stay in darkness while the other stay in light. Yin and Yang. How are you going to create a perfect world? Kushina asked. You will find out in due time. For now, we will provide you with various battle plans for the Heavenly Alliance. They're planning a secret attack to attack Konoha and wipe it from the face of this earth. Go to Pain-sama, this mission can only be entrusted to you, as Madara-sama trusts you, said Zetsu. Kushina gave a nod, as her eyes went towards Naruto. He was semi-conscious. His lips moved, as he muttered a few words. As she turned her back, tears coming in her eyes. Let's seal away his humanity, and wipe away his memory, said Black Zetsu, as Kushina clenched her fist tight, as she made her way out of the room. This is my path. That is what he said to her. He wanted him to help. He wanted her to help by exposing Madara as a real villain. Meanwhile, Naruto watched as Kushina left the base. His plan had worked, and now they had an ally in the Akatsuki. He believed in Kushina and his comrades. He saw the person Zetsu itching closer to him. Well, it looks like this is as far as I can go. Armin, Kadetsu. Many members rushed into his mind at that same time, meeting Kadetsu, Armin, his mother. The last words that she said to him that ripped his heart apart, but despite that he still loved her no matter what. As he felt like he turned out to be a rather worthless son. But he wished he could have seen his mother one last time. He didn't remember that face, that chubby little face. I love you, big brother, Itachi said. As a smile came on his lips, he truly believed in his family and his friends. One of Zetsu's devices pierced his brain as a strange light glowed inside the tube. Itachi, Mikasa, Renjutsu, everyone. I leave the rest to you. Time skip. Hana Inizaka was in a state of shock. She couldn't believe what her eyes were seeing. She was a war veteran by now. She was one of the best Black Ops soldiers. She had seen the death of her friends Yujeo, Iyuba, and yet, she couldn't stop the tears that flew from her eyes. This couldn't be happening. This was not supposed to be happening. This is not possible. It can't be possible. Her feeling was shared by many of the female Blacklight beside her. They were on the verge of tears. All of the men were shocked, shaking to their core. They didn't know what to do or how to react. Her eyes shifted towards the sky that had turned bright red. The sun was setting towards the sea. She saw Izumo coming towards her. Before she knew it, he embraced her in a hug. Naruto is dead. His voice was so weak and fragile. This was not the calm, cool Izumo that she knew, but she could understand his pain. Naruto, Armin, Kidetsu, Mikasa, Shizune, they were his closest friends, and now 3 of them were dead, while the other 2 on the verge of death. They might even be dead by now. That left him all alone in this war. Even she was worried about Uncle. But Commander Phoenix was gone. The soldiers erupted into rage. Phoenix is dead. Where the hell were you, Genma? Curses start to surge around everywhere. Their turmoil, their anger, their rage. This was not possible, man that led them against 4,000 enemy shinobi. The man that led them to defeat two-tailed beasts. The man that led them to Kira to destroy all of the forces could not be dead. Ranjuku was sitting right beside him. Her eyes showed that she wasn't going to let him go anytime soon. While Genma and his clones were keeping the others away from Naruto's body. As the soldiers lay a bunch of accusations on him, she felt Izumo crying on her shoulders as her hand rubbed his back. Naruto was not just a commander or a soldier. He was a friend, a brother. And he was gone. He was the person that held them all together in this cruel, wicked war. Every day that they lost their friends, he was there, holding them all together, making sure that they were all sane. And now, he was not coming back. As she remembered on the field, what he said to her. I know that you still blame yourself for Yuji's death. And I know how you feel. But your comrades need you, Hana. I need you, he said. She had cried as she looked towards him. But I can't be a leader, she told him. You can, because I believe in you, Hana, he said. The way he said it, the smile on his face, the encouraging words. Yes, sir, she said. Well then, we got work to do. Let's go kick some asses. He had gave her control of the small company. And she had did as she was told. She indeed kicked their asses. She chuckled slightly as the tears kept on flowing. As she didn't know what would happen to them now, Naruto was gone. Because the status was unknown. Baku had free reign on their company. After Commander Fox had gone, they had survived because they had great leaders like Naruto, Armin, Mikasa, Iuba, Katetsu. But now they were leaderless. How did he? As she clenched her fists. We were ambushed by the Kyojin Jinjulke. He led that monster away and fought against it. But he was too strong, he died, saving our life at the cost of his own. I could not do anything, Izumo said. I couldn't save another one of my friends. Her body started to shake with rage. They will pay for this. They will pay in blood for this, she said. The command, as acts as a prepare for his funeral. They won't return his body back to his family? He deserved better, Izumo. I won't let his body be burned. No, this is the code. It's not because the command wanted it. It's because he wanted that to happen. With these 2 letters being given to his family. As Izumo unsealed 2 letters, Hana took the papers. These were his last letters to his family. Mikasa gave them to me because she was not sure about her survival, said Izumo. Mikasa had planned for everything just in case. After all, she was smart, incredibly so. How many casualties? Asked Izumo. He was now the active commander. In case anything happened to Mikasa or Naruto, and that unfortunate moment that he never wanted that came. 5 Blacklight and 30 shinobis from Kurenai's company had died, while another 50 had been injured, Hana said. Hana, take care of Renjutsu. I'll look after the others. Meanwhile, at the medical station, they were currently still uncovering Mikasa's history, unaware of their own tragedy that has fallen on their own family. Another one of her memory ended, unveiling a few more secrets about her. So she's from Yuki clan. I could never imagine that they infiltrated into the Fire Country, said Mikoto thoughtfully. Minato was also thinking along similar lines. It is good that they didn't mean any harm. They just want a new place to settle down. From what I remember, there was an outbreak in our town, and I had to send Blacklight forces to prevent the virus from spreading, said Minato. Mikoto blinked. What kind of virus? And why does no one in Fire Country know about this? A grim look came on her husband's face. She knew that it was not something good. Orochimaru had invented a virus that raised the dead back to life. It was one of the most unique discoveries. He wanted to use it on himself to become immortal, but before that, he had to check its safety protocol. So he unleashed it on this town that Mikasa was in. He turned all of them into his test subjects. He what? Mikoto said furiously. This was beyond inhuman. Well, from a monster like Orochimaru it was expected. The virus turned out to be a disaster. Every single person turned into a monster. Even the few Blacklight I sent got infected. I had to purge the entire town to stop it from spreading. It was horrible. They turned into animals, slaughtering each other and feasting on each other's flesh. And from what I've seen so far, Mikasa is the only survivor, and she also possessed the virus inside her body. I agree with you, she said. If a normal person had suffered these injuries, they would have been long dead. But now I understand. The virus, it worked on her and brought her back. Maybe her special genes helped her absorb the virus and prevent her from becoming a monster. But if that's the case, what happened to her mother and sister? They were also from the Yuki clan. This is something we also have to find out. But Mikoto, as he looked in her eyes, I know. Let's check out one last memory. I know you're worried about your comrades, even though only a few minutes has passed in the real world. His shoulder had slumped. She came forward and hugged him. As he hugged her back, I should have been there for him, he said. The same applied for me too. Our entire family chose different paths, but we only wanted to protect each other. You did what you felt right as his father. I tried, but I made a huge mistake as well. Itachi still waits for the day that his big brother returned home. My love for him blinded me, and I tried to prevent him so hard from choosing his own path. Guess we both screwed up as parents, huh? She lightly punched his shoulder at his joke. I didn't screw up, she said. I just messed up a little. As her cheeks went bright red in embarrassment as he started to laugh. Instead of making her angry though, his smile made her smile. For 6 long years she had waiting for this. The event of Naruto joining Blacklight had driven them apart. But looking at the splendid person that he has become, it had brought them back together. His laughter died down as their forehead touched each other. You're always right, he said, as he gave her a kiss. As she too looked at him with that same passionate gaze, the flames of their love had ignited once again, and she was not going to let him go. I thought I would never see you again. I'm sorry, she said. Tears slipped from her eyes. He wiped the tears away. Then promise me that no matter what happened, we will stick together for our boys, he said. She smiled on hearing that, as she came forward and pressed her lips against his. It's been so long. As the intimate love shared between them was reunited. As they broke apart, I love you, the both of them said. Time skip. Unknown location. Madara stood in front of his new recruit. His organization had lost someone real powerful, Kisame. But that didn't matter. Unexpected, but, well, it didn't matter now. He had an even more powerful pawn. If Kisame was a beast, then his new shinobi was a monster. The person kneeling in front of him. He was wearing a black cloak with the red clothes on it. He was wearing dark pants. His face was hidden behind his face mask, but there was a change. He no longer wore the Konoha headband. His dark eyes were gazeless, empty. Not even Madara could see any emotion in them. Is he ready for a cause, Zetsu? Madara asked. Not yet. We have healed his body by infusing Hoshirama cells and Kushina cells inside of him. But it will be some time before we can transfer the Kyuubi. And since you have personally cast your Genjutsu on him, there is no doubts now, since your eyes can control Kushina. This boy will be a piece of cake, said Black Zetsu. What about his alter ego that you mentioned, said Madara, as he didn't want anything to come out and mess up his plan. Negative. It seems our analysis was wrong. He doesn't have an alter ego, which means you can control Mecha Pawn now with ease. Madara glanced towards Zetsu, for him to screw up that, well, easily. He did not, disagree with Zetsu. He was the most loyal person that he had. As he stepped in front of the boy. Who are you? Said Madara. I am no one. I don't want to be anyone. I am the will of Madara-sama. Listen to me, boy. The longer you live, the more you shall realize that this world is worthless. There can be no peace or happiness in this miserable world. But it ends now. I will create a world of victors, a world of love, a world of peace. And you will be the savior that shall help me build this world. From today, you are Madara Uchiha. As the boy gave a respectful bow. As you wish, Madara-sama, he said. Zetsu, excellent job. How long will it be until he can fight again? A few months top. You should send him to Kushina because she's the only one that can teach him how to use the Kyuubi's power. Who knows, he might even develop the ability to use her chakra chains. We cannot show him to the other members in his current state though. Very well. Go rest in your room for now, boy. We shall have words, said Madara. Yes, sir. As he turned and walked away, Zetsu glanced towards Madara as he went away. As he too disappeared into the ground. As Naruto stepped down the hallway. You piece of shit. I'll kill you for this, Naruto, said Akairyu. Stick to the plan, said Naruto. Remember who we're doing this for. I promise you, when time comes, we will kill that son of a bitch. Both of Naruto chuckled inside the mindscape as Akairyu looked towards the original counterpart, who was in a hidden, small, secluded corner in his mind. You are one devious son of a bitch, you know that, Naruto, Akairyu said. Well, I learned from the best. Thanks for helping me, he said. Akairyu looked away as he looked embarrassed. Don't be delusional. I'm only lending you a hand. in order to protect mom from this freak. I don't give a rat ass about that brat or that bastard Minato. You keep on telling yourself that, brother, said Naruto. Ikaru said. Are you sure your genjutsu will protect me from Madara? Ikaru asked. As Naruto nodded, I cast it on you. That was the reason I asked you to stay hidden. When Zetsu started to search our mind, Madara believed that he can control us. But even if I'm under his genjutsu, you are not. We may have our differences, but we have the same goal, said Naruto, as Ikaru nodded. Why didn't you tell Kushina about this? Don't you trust her? Ikaru asked. No. Madara may have made a mistake by underestimating us, but he's not an ignorant fool. Even the slightest shift in Kushina's emotions would have showed him the hint that something was wrong, and that would have been bad. Know that she believes I'm actually under Madara's command. She will work more vigorously, while you shall discover the true agenda of the Akatsuki and Madara secrets. You know, sometimes I wonder, who's more devious, you or me, Ikaru said. It doesn't matter, said Naruto. We're doing this to protect Mother. Well, I can agree with you on that, Ikaru said. Time skip. A group of people could be seen sitting in a small room. Their eyes were fixed on the world map. Minato sat at the center of the table, with a satisfied smile on his face. Since the past few months everything was going well. His army was moving forward, the enemy was being pushed back. At this rate, in a few months your victory was secure. But this victory came with a lot of dead Konoha shinobis. But he could never forget his son's role in defeating the stone forces. It was because of him and his company why Konoha was on the leading force. His wife had made peace with him again and he was happy. He saw Hiruzen and Kagama gave him a small smile. Both of them had played a vital role. At this rate they would reach the gates. In a few months, they reached the gates of the Hidden Stone. Beside them sat Danzo of the command unit. He too had performed well along with Shisui, who had dropped various bombing missions. They had scattered the morale of the stone enemies. Jiraiya was also sitting quietly in his seat. His division was also winning greatly as well. Kakashi was as stoked as ever, but he was frustrated because he could not read his book, because Tsunade was sitting right beside him. Despite getting tremendous losses, Kakashi had prevented the Kira ninjas from entering Fire Nation, and that was wonderful. Tsunade and Mikoto had been a lifesaver. The both of them had saved over hundreds of lives. Now the only person missing from this meeting was Baku. He always arrived on time, Minato wondered. What could make him delay this crucial meeting? There were many things he wanted to discuss with Baku. One of them was putting innocent children against trained ninja. Baku's methods were questionable, but if not for him they probably would have lost the war by now. But as the day passed, his methods were getting more and more dangerous. It seems things are going our way now, Hiruzen said calmly, as he looked towards the world map. Hiruzen, there can be no victory until we destroy our enemies, but it is true. We have advantage over the enemy now. Kagama had chuckled and seen his two old friends having a different of opinion again. It had been so many years, yet they were exactly the same. Sometimes, things never change. Where's Baku Dano? Is he busy somewhere? Asked Kakashi. We must wait for a few more minutes. He may be late, but we cannot deny that his black-like soldiers have turned the tide of this war, said Minato. As the others nodded. I've heard some whispers that Oniki is afraid of the Ghost Company of Black Light. Jiraiya said jokingly. Those kids are something else. Despite losing their commander in their first battle, they still defeated 4,000 troops. They even defeat 2 Jinchurikis under Baku command, said Kagama proudly. It's still hard to believe that Minato-san can prove to be so deadly, said Danzo. Tuh, said Tsunade. Senile old geezer, she thought. Naruto is Tobirama, grandson. He can defeat geezers like you, easily. Just when would these fools stop underestimating young children, thought Tsunade. Jiraiya noticed the tension on her face as he gave her a smile, to ease her attention. At least there was always one person she could count on. Baku then arrived in the room. Minato instantly saw it. There was a defeated look in his eyes. Apologies for the late arrival, Hokage-sama, he said, as he kneeled. You don't have to apologize, Baku. I'm more important than the reason that makes you late for such an important meeting. Baku got back to his feet as he walked towards the world map. Baku placed a small cross on the Miyazaki island of Kiri. Many gasped when they saw that. They captured that island? How the hell did Kunai did that with a single battalion? Kakashi was shocked, as that group had rained down hell on them, forcing Kakashi group back, so he could not interfere, but he stopped them from entering the Fire Nation. Ghost Company of Black Light, along with 2nd Division, has captured Miyazaki Island. All enemy forces have been neutralized, the missiles have all been seized, said Baku seriously. How many casualties on our side, said Tsunade, capturing a post like that, as she knew that would be, well, dangerous. We lost only 5 Black Light soldiers. 30. Ninjas from Division 2. The second commander makes sure his forces took minimum losses. Amazing. That boy is really something. You have a wonderful son, Hokage-sama. But Minato ignored all the praise. His eyes were fixed on Baku. Complete your report, Baku, he said. What is left now, said Jiraiya. We won. The enemy has been defeated, and most of our force is safe. Not all of them, said Minato, as he saw the look in Baku's eyes. You're right. The second commander sacrificed his life to capture this island. Everyone froze. The place was so quiet you could drop a pin and hear it. Kagami couldn't understand what was going on. His grandson couldn't be killed in action, could it? No, that was not possible. This was not true. It can't be true. Danzo closed his eyes for the fallen shinobi. Konoha might have lost another useful asset, but the boy had performed his duties wisely, something which Danzo respected. As Hiruzen clenched his fists, Kakashi was disheartened hearing that. Naruto gave them hope when there was none. He led them to victory when there was none. And now he was gone. A small tear fell from Tsunade's eyes. Another one of her family was lost. As her mind went on Mikoto, the pain that it would... Tsunade couldn't finish her thought. Baku, stop this nonsense, said Jiraiya. That can't be possible. It's the truth. Naruto Namikaze sacrificed his own life while protecting his soldiers against your student. Jiraiya blinked when he heard your student. No, it couldn't be. Minato was silent. Kushina. 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 Kushina! The room started to turn hot. Everyone was blown away as the entire table started to crack. The walls started to shake as the table exploded. The pressure was so dense and high, Kakashi could not breathe. As Minato was enveloped in blue chakra, his eyes were murderous. Even Baku had to take a step back as Minato rose from his chair. So this was the true power of the Hokage. Baku, say the truth now, he commanded. The other ninjas tried to get on their feet, but they were failing miserably. Even Hiruzen and Jiraiya was shocked. But his son was killed, and none other by Kushina, a person that he considered his best friend. It is true, Hokage-sama. Kushina, attack your son's forces and knock them out within seconds. She would have killed all of them if your son did not lead her away. Both of them fought fiercely. Your son tried to reason with her, but she did not listen. In the end, she proved too much due to the Kyuubi. He fought to his last breath, forcing her to flee, saving every soldier at the cost of his own life. You should have brought him to me. I could have saved him, said Tsunade. Baku shook his head, considering that he has a hole in his chest, large enough for you to stick your head through. I don't see any way of you saving him. And he was dead by the time his comrades found him, said Baku. As the place returned back to normal, Minato's eyes were full of regret and grief. Where is he? Said Minato, as Minato couldn't believe what he was hearing. Kagami looked towards Minato. As Naruto did his duty as a soldier, but still. Mikoto and Shisui. And not to mention poor little Itachi. That boy has waited for the past 6 years for his brother to return, and now to find out that he will never, ever come back. His body is being held at Miyazaki Island. As for the issue of the Black Light Code, we must burn it. Although, there's the issue of his eyes. As Danzo saw Baku's signal and instantly, he jumped in to grab it. I'm sorry for your loss, Hokage-sama. But considering that your son has a monkey Sharingan, we must preserve it for Konoha's sake. Tsunade glared towards the old man. Do you two have any humanity left in yourself? I'm only saying what is right. We must protect the future of Konoha. Tsunade got to her feet to beat the crap out of him, but Jiraiya grabbed her tightly. As Kakashi tried to hold Kagami off, Hiruzen glanced towards Minato who stood there, uncaring about the commotion. He knew how Minato must be feeling. He too had lost his eldest son in this war. He stepped beside him and placed a hand on his shoulder. Minato, he said. He saw that his instincts kicked in, as he took the role as Hokage, sealing the father away inside of him. Enough, he said, as everyone came to a stop. This is not what Naruto would have wanted, so all of you shut up. Baku, guard his body. I shall. Yes, sir, said Baku, as he understood the message. This meeting has been adjourned until further notice. The rest of you get back to your stations, except for you, Kagami-sama. But, said Kakashi, there's still a war going on. We all have jobs to do, said Minato. As Hiruzen commanded his two students follow him outside. Snappy, hesitant at first, but she saw the look on his face. Baku gave a bow and vanished in a poof of smoke. Danto gave his condolences to the grieving father and left. Kakashi didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say, as he gave a quick bow and left. As Minato was left with Kagami, this was not supposed to happen. Why did Kushina kill him, said Kagami. Minato punched the broken table, because of me. She killed him because of me. What? She loved me. But I didn't love her that way. She was my best friend. And I married her daughter, who was my true love. For years I believed something bad happened to her, that made her leave the village, only to find out that she killed my son for revenge. My son was killed because of my mistake, he said. A broken look came on his face. This was not your fault. Every person made their own choices. You made the right choice by marrying my daughter, because both of you love each other. The both of you raised two wonderful boys. Naruto made the righteous choice of saving his comrades. The only person that is wrong here is Kushina, and she will pay for this. What shall I tell Itachi? That his brother is gone and is not coming back? What shall I tell Mikoto? You will tell him the truth, that he was a brave commander that sacrificed his life to save his comrades, that he valued family and friendship. A person that walked the right path until the very end, said Kagami. As the both of them gave each other a nod, I'll go to her and Itachi. You inform Shisui. We have to complete the funeral by tonight, said Minato, as he slowly got up to leave the room. As Kagami looked towards Minato, he had to ask a question no matter how much his heart is telling him not to. What about his eyes? I know it's not the time. My son came the world with those eyes. I shall see him part with them. This is my order. Konoha has survived without the Mangekyou, and it will survive without in the future as well. This is the least I can do for my son. With that he exit. As Kagami leaned on his chair, as he thought about his small, little grandson, that he won't see again. Time skip. At Konoha, two shinobis were standing on opposite sides. One of them was in his early 30s and a jonin. The other one was wearing his black t-shirt, with his family crest on his back, kunai holster strap on his pants, dark fingerless gloves on his hand. His spiky golden hair, along with his blue eyes, made him look like the spitting image of his father, the fourth Hokage. Itachi Namikaze was no ordinary 13-year-old boy. He was from a family of powerful ninjas. His father was a fourth Hokage, his mother was one of the most powerful Medic ninja. His elder brother was a great leader and a strong ninja. They had proven themselves as fine shinobis. Now it was up to him to live up to that legend. He was already the best student of his generation. He graduated at the top of his class. His skills were already on par with a chunin. The only thing that he lacked was experience. Are you ready, Itachi? The older man asked. He had short black hair and onyx color eyes. He had the Konoha Military Police Force symbol on his shoulder. He was Fugaku Uchiha, leader of the Uchiha Force, the police force that kept things straight in the village, and a trusted shinobi of Itachi's father. As Kagami family was on the war front, the police force needed a new leader. Kagami was also busy on the 5th Division, so he left it to Minato to choose, showing his trust in the Hokage. Minato noticed Fugaku's popularity amongst younger Uchiha. After several talks to the other council members, they named him the leader of the police force. Let's do this, Itachi said. In the blink of an eye, he was right in front of Fugaku. Fugaku blocked the right hook. But what happened next shocked everyone else. He spun around Fugaku and crashed, a kick in his back that knocked Fugaku away. The other police force members watched. He's almost as fast as the fourth. Did he just score a hit on Fugaku-sama? Damn! Everyone was shocked. Itachi was unfazed as Fugaku jumped towards him and released a torrent of kicks and punches as they clashed. The level of the fight was raised as Fugaku had his Sharingan activated now. Itachi flipped several times and threw a few smoke bombs blocking Fugaku, but Itachi just pumped back right at him, right into the smoke with 3 clones, as Fugaku clashed against all of them inside. As Fugaku watched as the boy performed hand signs. Since when did he start to perform jutsu? It was true ever since Naruto left the village. Itachi had not rested that day. He had trained every day, working hard so he can be as good as the members of his family, just so he could be strong enough to fight by his brother's side and protect him from the enemies. He still remembered the day when Mikoto left Itachi to him before going to war. Since that day, Fugaku has acted as his mentor, trainer, and teacher. Itachi became a part of his family. Sasuke, his son, was Itachi's best friend. But despite becoming the best student of his class, Itachi never stopped. He said it wasn't enough. Wind release. Great wind breakthrough. As Fukaku flashed the wind at Sunshin, as he sent a fireball towards him after destroying his clones. As Itachi threw a kunai straight up in the air, he substituted himself with the kunai and launched another one down, before doing the same thing, as he appeared close to him. So that's what he up to. Given the way he was using that technique, it kind of looked like he was using a Harashin. He was just now a few inches away from Fukaku. A Fukaku clone came crashing down on Itachi, but it phased right through him. Fukaku cursed, realized his mistake as he turned, but a kunai was placed at his throat. It's over, Fukaku-sama, Itachi said. It seemed it is, said Fukaku as he looked towards the boy. But how? What just happened? He tricked me. The kunai that he threw was just a distraction. In reality, as soon as the kunai came to me, he substituted the weapon with his clone that he had hid earlier in the battle. But it was not a shadow clone. It was just a simple clone, not physical, said Fukaku. But with your Sharingan, you could have spotted the fake clone. Under normal circumstances, yes. That is why he used a smoke bomb. And the wind released, they scatter the smoke on their own, so I could not see the shadow of the clone. As such, I was unable to see it. He created a perfect one. And it was too late before I realized what he was up to, said Fukaku. But still, his speed is quite remarkable, Captain, Inabi said. You're far too kind, Inabi-san. Fukaku is the one that trained me for all these years. He's one of the reasons why I'm so strong, said Itachi. Some of them chuckle and saying about honesty. He's a polite one, Captain. We shall return to our duties now, said Inabi, as Fukaku gave him a nod, as he congratulated Itachi before heading off, as soon as they were alone. You did well, said Fukaku with a smile, as Itachi smiled, and just like that Fukaku was gone. You can come out now. I knew you watched the entire thing, Itachi said, as his Sharingan was in his eyes activated. The sound of footsteps could be heard. Itachi's eyes widened when he saw who the person was though. Father! Itachi ran towards him. Minato was proud. He had seen the entire spar, and he was more than proud, as he smiled towards his son that came towards him. But the news that he brought here wasn't good. How could he tell him that his brother was gone? As he looked towards his son, there was no 5'1", blonde hair, nor reach up to his neck, and his clear blue eyes, as he wore the headband proudly on his forehead. You have grown, Itachi, said Minato as he hugged his son back. It's nothing. And compared to brother, I'm just... Minato placed a hand on his shoulder. Itachi, you must not compare yourself to your brother. The both of you are amazing in your own way. I know you feel guilty for not participating in the war, but it was out of your hands. But I'm proud. You became a fine shinobi and kept the village safe. You became the best genin of your class. You were able to defeat a Jonin with your intelligence. I'm proud of you, my son. Itachi smiled, but he noticed a sea of sadness in his father's eyes. Something was wrong. His father then went quiet for a long while. Father, he said. Your brother, said Minato. Is he coming back? Is he hiding somewhere? As Itachi looked around, trying to find a trail of chocolate for his brother, wondering if his brother was surprising him, as he felt a hand on his shoulder. I'm sorry, but he was killed. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want something important, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace out.